you have a very strong feeling that comes from deep in your heart to do God's will in a certain circumstance, is that what we're talking about? You ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you God's will.
You see that feeling in your heart, very often it is geared towards the mighty will of God. Now, mighty works of God, it doesn't always prompt you to kind of go and do something. It is also about renewing something about you so that you become more prepared, better equipped, to handle the work that you are about to do. So it has to do with revealing something to you. It has to do with maybe is something that is holding you back, and he is going to reveal that to you. There is a word. Let one seeks not stop seeking until he finds. When one finds, one will be troubled. When one is troubled, one will marvel and rule over all.
Read that last sentence.
Okay. When one is troubled, the one will marvel and will rule over all. So, in other words, there are a few things that are going on in this mystery. You see, so what he is talking about is it is not seeking the mighty will of God, although that's what you are doing, but you are seeking your own self. You are seeking the image and likeness of God. See, remember the last time when I spoke, I talked about the darkness, the pollution, that is not revealing as the light within us. And that pollution is a lot of accumulation of polarities, of, of Advaitic knowledge, and all sorts of things, intelligence, rationales, all of that it includes. That kind of keeping you away from wisdom is what I'm talking about. Everything that is keeping you away from wisdom. That includes everything. That includes your lifestyle, your samskara, your vasana, it's everything is in it. Okay? Those are the things that is creating this cloud of darkness. Getting rid of these vasanas, getting rid of this darkness, it is not always a pleasurable experience. A lot of the time it is very painful. See, that is the reason why it says, when one finds, one will be troubled.
Okay.
You see? So what it is as you are going on a therapy, you are getting at the target of what you are looking for. And when you reveal that to your patient, is the patient always happy and grateful? It's not.
No.
It's very disturbing. So the Holy Spirit is going to reveal a lot of truth about ourselves to us. Very deep-rooted, truths about us. Very, very deep-rooted, very deep inside of your, subconsciousness and all of that. He is going to reveal them to us.
Yeah.
It's not always a pleasurable experience. Okay? A lot of the times, these things in our subconscious minds, in our subconsciousness, and in our darkness, it kind of manifests as ailments, diseases, in various ways, and many times as trials, many times as sickness, many times as losses, many times in many ways. But all of that is happening because you will reach out and reach to your Holy Spirit and seek answers from Him. So meaning troubles, whether it is internal, whether it is external, you're going to have it. So, to answer your question that is earlier, that you asked, the experience you are getting, and, it's not always about the mighty works, but it is always about, knowing who you are, what is your makeup, what is exactly, that is blocking the light that is within you. That's really what it is. So in order to reveal you that the light within you, you're going to go through a lot of painful experiences, which Jesus says are troubles. But you see, that is the reason why, it is not a matter of our intellectual rationales, but it's feeling. You're going to get closer and closer to your light, not by way of your mind, but by way of your feelings. And that feelings include troubles also.
Right.
The feeling includes delights also.
Right.
That feeling includes a variety of things. But no matter what you are going through, as it is revealed to you, you become very delightful. It's like delivering a child. No matter what pain you go through, the minute the child comes out, you are so delightful, joyous, and grateful.
Yes.
See, so that experience is there. It is inevitable. It's still there. But a lot of the times that's what you're going to go through. It is not the Holy Spirit is jumping out and say, Genie, go do this. Of course, He will tell you that. But that shouldn't be the expectation. You see what I mean?
Right.
That should not be the expectation. It does happen. It does happen. Where He will tell you, go do something. Okay? It does happen. It happened to me many times. But most of the time, that's not what it is. Most of the time, Holy Spirit is revealing something to me about myself. That is why it is called self-realization.
Okay. That makes sense.
You see,
Yes.
it is self-realization. That is what leads you into supreme realizations. You see? So the beginning of all of these is self-realization. The beginning of supreme realization, self-realization, is the beginning. Without self-realization, supreme realization is very hard to come by. Does it answer your question?
Yes, very well.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Very well.
Well, you will have more questions about it. Feel free to ask.
Okay.
Okay? Because this is one of the deepest and the most important subjects in spirituality. How the self is realized, and then how self is evolving into supreme realizations. That is, it's a question that is very, very difficult to answer.
Yeah.
It only by the inspiration of God I can answer that. There is no other way. There is no intellectual answer to that. Okay?
When you say, when these things occur, do you, and they may bring about feelings of trouble, or trouble comes about as the Holy Spirit moves to give you self-realization? What kind of troubles do you think this involves?
You see, since you are a woman, let me talk about pregnancy. How pregnancy transforms you in and out. cell by cell, inside and outside. See, this is exactly what is going on when you are on a spiritual journey. You are being transformed internally and externally. You are becoming a whole new creation. You would never be the girl that you were once before. That's not going to happen. You are going to become a very changed person. You are going to become a mother. And that motherhood continues for the rest of your life. You see, this is what is going on in a spiritual journey also. So when you are, going through pregnancy, there is a lot of painful experiences, a lot of anxious moments, a lot of, frustrating moments, and you're going to go through all of it. But are you without any pleasurable moments also? Not so. You will have numerous pleasurable moments along the way. But you see, it's not, you know, it, it's a very complex process you go through. But what is constant in all the process is you are changing. You are changing for good. You are transforming, and your transformation is for good. You see, this is exactly what happens in a spiritual journey, whether you're a man or a woman. Okay, that's the closest association I can come up with. So it is not a sort of a scary journey. It's not. For some people, yeah, it is. They choose not to have another child after the first one because they cannot handle that journey.
Right.
Most of them have many children, in spite of all the things that they had been through. They don't mind the transformations. They'll have many children. And some women choose not to have any child also. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I can suggest you is, what I can urge you and recommend you is, yep, this transformation is inevitable. And believe me, even in your real life, this transformation is taking place with or without your awareness. With or without your awareness, you are being transformed.
By the Holy Spirit.
Yes. But is he being very effective with it? No. But the minute you embrace the transformation that is going on within you, then everything falls in place. That is the reason why St. Thomas says, listen to this one. This is fascinating. I love these words. When you know yourselves, this is the second part of verse 3. Jesus says, when you know yourselves, then you will be known. And you will understand that you are the children of the living Father.
That's your children.
Yes, meaning you are self-realized.
Right.
You are the image and likeness of God, you have realized it. See, but if you do not know yourself, then you will dwell in poverty. And you are poverty. You see, so Jesus is telling you to go and seek that image and likeness. Otherwise, you're going to remain with nothing, a meaningless life. That's what poverty is. A life without any blessings. See, very specific. If you do not know yourselves, if you do not know yourselves, then you dwell in poverty, and you are poverty. Very strong words of Jesus.
Very strong.
And these are words that is written by the scribe. Jesus said, "Let one who seeks not stop seeking until one finds."
Amen.
When one finds, one will be troubled. When one is troubled, one will marvel and will rule over it.
When you go through this process of self-realization and encounter troubles as a result, can you give me an example from your own life?
All through my grown-up life, I was a very angry man. And I was not a very happy man. Even though I projected myself as a happy person, I wasn't. When I got into spirituality, I was challenged a lot because of my anger. Went through a lot of troubles and a lot of losses because of my anger. But you see, deep inside me, something kept telling me, no, this is not the way I am. What made me the way I am? See, if that is my nature, I have nothing to regret, I have nothing to feel bad about it. But the reason why I felt so bad about it is because deep within me I knew that's not who I am. That tiny enlightenment, I did not invent it, it just came from the Holy Spirit. Okay? A lot of people, just continue living the way they live. They never turn around and question, why am I this way? And it takes a lot of guts and a lot of confidence in the Holy Spirit so that I could turn around and ask him, what did go wrong? Explain to me. I want to straighten myself up. Been to many therapists, no progress whatsoever. Okay? Absolutely nothing.
Which type therapies did you go through?
Psychotherapists, and even I went to a psychiatrist. Gosh, and he gave me medicine, And I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
It just took me through a lot of things. Then finally I just threw away everything and I went straight to the Holy Spirit. Okay, the Holy Spirit took me to a certain point in my life, where I changed, from person A to person B. He took me to the specific incidents. And he gave me a lot of courage and a lot of confidence to look squarely at it. And the progression from then on, that how I evolved. All right, fine. Then he took me back to that point and before that, to let me see who I was. I had a very abstract mind all throughout my life, but I wasted a lot of my life wanting to be the opposite, structured, organized, and that sort of a person. Wasted a lot of time. Many times I did not succeed academically. that made me feel that I was stupid, I was not bright, you know. And from then on, I come to realize, no, it's the opposite. You know, I was very bright, and but how I chose to live my life is different from what I was. You see, I came to realize that the purpose and the direction and all of that, the mighty works God had in mind for me. That's a grateful feeling.
Yes.
But in order to prepare myself to get to that point of doing that work, it took a lot. It took a lot, you know. I mean, growing up, I never thought I was a very intelligent person at all. A lot of times I thought I was crazy, I was weird, you know, I was stupid, you know, and and all of that, it just came out in the form of an aggression, because I basically am a very intelligent, very powerful man.
Yes.
Very powerful, very persuasive. So I have a lot of those things that is in the background. But the way, my insecurities making me project is by way of an aggression, by way of bullying somebody, by way of bringing somebody under my control, which is something that I was not. Every time I did that, I was a very, very unhappy man. You see? So that's really what was going on. So, the role Holy Spirit was playing in my life, is not something that was very, very pleasurable all the time. Although the pleasure was there, I cannot say no, it was very unpleasant all throughout, not at all. You know, see, I mean, coming to realize I was an okay kid, it was, it was a very grateful moment.
Yeah.
To coming to realize that I was not stupid after all. It's a very grateful moment, very delightful moment. But I go through all the troubles. I go through all the trials for me to get there. Without the birthing fangs, there is no birth. See what I mean?
Yes.
There isn't. So transformations require a certain amount of pain. Transformation will happen. We need to hold on to the transformation, not the pain. That's what St. Thomas is saying. Does it vaguely answer your question?
Yes. Very well. Very well.
Thank you. Yes, there is no logical answer to what you asked me. There isn't. But fortunately, I've had that experience, so I could give you a testimony of that. That's pretty much it. How the testimony is influencing you, that's a whole different thing. But one thing I can assure you, it is not going to happen exactly the same way it happened to me.
Okay.
You have your own unique set of exploration and the troubles associated with that exploration. See, so just go into it that knowing that you want to get pregnant. You know all of these things are going to happen. You still want to become pregnant.